Most people think the hardest part of quitting your job is financial, building up enough runway, minimizing expenses, making sure you don't go broke. But after spending 7 years as a corporate lawyer for ultra-wealthy entrepreneurs and then quitting to build my own business, I can tell you that is just the first obstacle. There are 4 hidden but powerful things that make or break your first year of entrepreneurship. And if you're not prepared before you quit, no amount of savings will save you. When you spend 40+ hours a week working for someone else, you are too busy to think straight. It's like you're wearing foggy glasses 24/7. So you tell yourself, once I'm out, I'll figure it out. But here's what really happens. You quit, explore ideas, start working on a business, but the plan you thought you had starts to shift. Maybe in multiple directions at once, and the whole time your runway is silently burning in the back. This is when people question themselves. Not because they made the wrong decision, but because they realize that everything is harder than they thought. But there's one thing that prevents this. You start building before you leave. You take the first steps now to figure out how you can earn money without your employer. What is aligned with the life you want, and how can you explore this while still getting paid? Plan your way out from there. You don't need the perfect idea, because this will change once you have more time, but you need to understand how your ideas work and what effort they require to generate income. You need to prove that you can show up, create value, and adapt when things aren't working. Because what if you learn that you are no longer up for it? You need to evaluate your ideas as much as you can before you quit. When I built on the side, all I did was figure out ways to make money based on my skills and interests. When I quit my job and got time to go all in, I realized that I didn't see myself doing what that business required to scale. But the skills you build stick. And that is the foundation I'm using to build this channel. I made most beginner mistakes while someone else was paying my salary. I could fail 100 times over before it even mattered. That gave me peace of mind. So if you find yourself thinking that you don't have time because of your job, work around it and think of your job as an asset instead. Your job is what allows you to experiment without pressure and build sustainably. And once you have built that proof, there's a second thing that most people aren't ready for. And this has nothing to do with business. To bet on yourself, you already know you need 2 things. Time to do it and money to fund it. And if you're already planning your exit, you are further along than most people. But there is so much that goes into starting a business. And in my weekly newsletter, I tackle the challenges that take the most brainpower, but no one else talks about. So if you want to learn more, you'll find the link to subscribe in the description below. Once you have the money under control, here's what's next. Imagine a friend telling you they're buying a beautiful home for their growing family. And at the same time, your other friend is getting promoted. Your mom is asking about grandkids. Your sister is getting married. Everyone is hitting milestones except for you. In every conversation where someone asks, "What do you do?" or "How are things going for you?" you are going to sit there with a half-built business, a shrinking bank account, and no one who gets it. Your parents will worry. People you thought were friends will speculate. Your insecurities will creep up when you least expect it. Recently, I was at a family dinner where someone initiated toasts to celebrate and started lining up impressive milestones one by one. One person had been promoted, another had passed an exam, another hit a record in a sport. Everyone toasted to it. No one mentioned my business. Not even the person who initiated the toast, who, ironically enough, is a business owner too. And I sat there hoping for the effort and courage to be acknowledged. But our society has a predetermined script for what success looks like. Starting something new will not get proven until successful. And even then, it will be called luck. So don't wait for the people around you to recognize what you're doing. They will doubt for a long time. You need to believe in yourself before anyone else does. And if you think more money or a bigger runway will solve this, it won't. Most people wait their entire lives for the perfect bank balance to feel like they can quit and be okay. But if you're used to a monthly paycheck and all of a sudden aren't getting one, no number will feel good enough. Your runway should be able to handle failing, pivoting, and trying again without you ending up on the streets. If you're not there yet, stay employed and keep building. But at a certain point, the time you're losing is a bigger cost to your future than the additional money you'll make by staying employed for another year. So here is what I think about the insecurity that comes with not following the script. Ask yourself if you truly want to spend money on things like a big wedding, which is essentially just a big party, or if you want to take ownership of your time. What benefits you and your partner in the long run? What can wait? Keep in mind that milestone expenses such as weddings, houses, kids, and cars aren't just costly in terms of money. They also take a lot of time to plan for and maintain. When you get clear on your own answers to these questions, other people's milestones will not make you feel bad about yourself. And you can focus on investing in yourself and your business without questioning it. But you can't expect yourself to do everything on your own. And that's where the next thing comes in. Most people won't consider entrepreneurship because they don't want to give up on their independence. But let me ask you one thing. Are you really independent if you're reliant on an employer to get paid every month? Because this is where most people are. And you're making it harder than it has to be if you expect to be 100% independent while building. Everything comes with trade-offs. Sometimes building means being less independent in the short term to be more independent in the long term. And that's okay. Most entrepreneurs who leave their full-time jobs have a safety net. They have runway, they know how to make money independently, and in many cases, they have external support too. Early on, my partner and I decided that if we're building a life together, we share goals and resources too. We are one unit with one vision. Roles and tasks get adjusted as we go. Sometimes one person carries more so the other can build. Sometimes it flips. The point isn't who does what, it's that both people are working towards the same thing, and we're both willing to sacrifice short-term comfort. And I know that sounds scary, but I wouldn't say this if I hadn't seen it work over and over again, both in my own life and in the lives of the entrepreneurs that I used to work for. This requires more trust than most people are comfortable with. Somehow, we are more comfortable putting our lives in the hands of an employer than someone who actually cares about us, simply because it follows society's script. We are taught to protect ourselves financially and split equally. But safe and strategic isn't the same thing. Real partnership means doing what suits you as a team, especially if it can translate to even more independence, which benefits you both and potential future generations as well in the long run. This mindset isn't something I came up with on my own. It's adopted from what I've seen by working as a tax lawyer for ultra-wealthy entrepreneurs. The ones who built successfully rarely did this alone. Their partners were in it from day one and saw it as a team effort. They share the vision and the sacrifice. What one person puts in now benefits both later. So think long-term together. What moves are you making now that have the power to take you both further in 5 or 10 years? Not just in terms of money, but in quality of life as well. If you can answer that together, you have a partner in this. But if you can't, that's one more conversation to have. Your partner in this doesn't have to be a spouse. It could be a parent or a friend too. A lot of founders get initial support from people who are already in their circle. And it's time to stop pretending that everyone does everything completely on their own, because it keeps people stuck overthinking instead of taking action. And the world needs more people who dare to take action. But when you depend on other people, they are also betting on you. And you need to prove to them and to yourself that you can deliver. What most people believe is that once the job is gone, they will have all this time and energy. That is when the magic will happen. But this is not how it works. Your job gives you something that you don't notice until it's gone. A repetitive structure, performance criteria, and consequences for failure. That is what's making you productive. Think of it like training wheels on a bike. They feel restrictive, but the moment they come off, you realize how much balance they were giving you. And when you leave your job, it's like biking without training wheels for the first time. And that is when you find out if you really have discipline. Are you able to say no now and build your business in a way that allows you to say yes later? Or will you risk the business for short-term pleasure? It's not just the obvious distractions. There is one that catches almost every new founder. Imagine that your parents need help with something and they ask you. A friend needs a favor and you say yes. Another family member needs support and everyone else is in their 9 to 5. All of a sudden, you're not only running your own errands during work hours, you're running everyone else's too. And you keep saying yes, because you convinced yourself you'll make up for it later. But that's the trap. So, what does building discipline look like? When I was building on the side, I used to sit down and work on my business as my second job every day for at least 2 hours, for about 4 years. I spent every Sunday prepping for the whole week, not because I wanted to, but because I knew that by Tuesday I would be exhausted and talk myself out of everything, especially if I didn't have a plan telling me exactly what to do. So look at how you're spending your time right now. If you're already building consistently, despite being tired, it's a good sign. You are proving to yourself that you can show up even when no one is watching. If you're not, start here. Build the habit before you quit, because freedom doesn't create discipline, it exposes if you have it. The real challenge isn't doing the thing, it's about saying no to everything else, not just for months, but for years. Don't delay starting until you find yourself dissatisfied with your job. This starts now. And if you struggle with saying no, putting yourself first and figuring out how to get going, watch this video next.